Hi guys, I think I'm live. I've altered where the camera is and I've got no idea if it's in focus. It should be on autofocus. I just need a bit of a clean. Hang on. Okay, so I think we're live and I'm hoping my mic works. Let's put the old phone on silent. And let's just tell everyone. Hey guys, we're live over on YouTube, so if you want to come and watch me use the Spectrum Aqua markers, come and join me now. Link is in the bio. Hey guys, we're live. There we go. Now mute the phone. Hi Wendy, hi Carol, hi Joanne. I'm really flustered. My sister really nicely came round for quite a quick fleeting visit, but it's been like a mad rush out the door. So yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of shares while we're waiting for a few more people to log on. And forgive me, I look really pink in my camera. Okay, where's my share button? There it is. Seriously, why can't I ever include that in the title? So today, I believe, not only is it summer solstice, it is... Is that doing it or not? Oh, hang on. It's National Giraffe Day. So I thought I would do a little impromptu YouTube live. Bit of productiveness from me for a change, be nice. I think there's one more just on my page. Somebody wanted tagging, didn't they? You're gonna have to remind me who you want. No, yes, actually I could. Somebody wanted tagging and I can't remember who it was. Was it Emily? I've just posted it in the group, so hopefully that will help. Okay, first of all, can you hear me okay? I'll show you the reason why in a minute. Okay, I think that's all the shares done. Okay. So, tissue paper for my paintbrush. I think it was Emily. Okay. Ah. No, it's not letting me tag, so I'm just going to put live now on the Facebook. Okay, so the reason being is that I had my YouTube channel audited by a really lovely guy in a group that I belong to, and do you know what? I'm actually over the moon with the feedback I got. He said it was actually very hard to find anything negative really, so it was just constructive advice, which was really helpful, and he's done this for so many people off his own back. So one of the things he said was my microphone sounded quite echoey. Now you're aware that I'm in this quite big room, and of course the sound echoes around quite a lot. So you've all seen mufflers on microphones or boom mics, things like that. So I ended up making my own for my microphone. So there you go. At Volt Slipper Fur. I had some old slipper boots. It wasn't the bit that my feet go on. It's like the cuff around the outside. So I stole it and made one. They call it a dead cat, which is really not very nice. Yeah, when you sign up to YouTube, I'm going to show you very quickly, actually. I don't know whether I'll be able to see it on mine. Let's go to... When you click on subscribe and then you click on the bell button, it's probably not going to show me. You have to click all notifications. You can't just have highlights or none. If you don't click on all, then all you get is a notification for the odd video that might go up. But if you want a notification for all the live feeds and every time I post a video, which isn't hundreds of times, then that's when you get the notification. So make sure, go to the bell button if you haven't done it already, and just click on the all notifications, and it will be fine for you for the future. Okay. I'm wondering if I should move my monitor. Let me move my monitor slightly, because my eyes have got really crap. So I'm going to be using, I need to get my light sorted out, and my microphone is right in the way of my light and now my coffee, and we can't be dealing with that. Right, let's bring you closer in. Is that better? I can't tell if that's better or not. There's such a delay. That's a bit better. Okay, advance, autofocus off. Let's make sure that's there. And I might just up the brightness a touch. Bring the camera over a bit. Well, you know, I'm not in the game of spending, they're like 20 odd quid for a bit of fluff. You could buy a bit of fluff from eBay, or even your local fabric shop. Okay, so today, Giraffe. One of my favourites or most popular lives, for those of you that don't watch me regularly, are my Spectrum Noir Aqua pens. So for those of you that are not familiar with these, I will just run you very quickly through. And a lot of my earlier crappier... It's Coffee Man making a noise. A lot of my earlier crappier videos were literally just time lapses of me using these pens, but when I started in the lives on Facebook, they were the most popular, and they did really well because they were so bright and colourful, and you haven't got to sit there for an hour and a half just to watch me colour an ear. So if you're not familiar with these, they are water activated markers. They're dye based, and they come in a massive array of colours, and they're all really, really lush. And I'm using the Spectrum Noir 9x12 300 GSM paper that goes with it. And actually, bear with me 1 second. No, I haven't, honestly, because my sister came round. We had to do like a really quick photo shoot. I'm not making it up, I promise. So no, I haven't had a chance, and I need to work out how to word it really. Spectrum Noir connoisseurs. There we go. Let's pop it in there. Ah. So I know that Wendy has these pens, and I think has probably used them, I don't know, like twice. Sorry, I need to put that I'm a DT member when I post in that group. And if I don't, it'll probably get deleted. There. Yeah, so I know, Joe, have you got these? can't remember if you've got them. But so the colours I've got today, and I will put these in the list if you want to have a go. I'm also happy to put the reference picture up. It goes in my Facebook page. There's an album on there specifically for every time I do a live. If you guys want to join in, I'll put the reference picture in the album on my Facebook page. So if you're not on Facebook, if you don't on my page already, just go to Facebook and search Bonnita Doodles and it will come up. So the reference picture will be in the new album that's there specifically for the reference pictures. It's easily labelled, so you'll see it. So I don't know which ones I'm going to use yet, but I have either the Desert, the Jasmine, the Tawny or the Fawn for the brown bit of the giraffe. All the spots, areas, I'm actually going to do in a bit of a rainbow galaxy pattern, and that reminds me I need a white paint pen. Let's grab that out ready, although I think I've already got one here anyway. Yes. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. So for those of you that have been with me a while, you'll remember the original, the fox, the seahorse, the whale, the narwhal. It will be in that sort of style, I think. Still haven't used them. Sell them to Joe. So the paper is specifically for the watercolour markers, and it's really good weight. And I don't know whether the camera will pick up the texture, but it's not heavyweight textured like thick standard watercolour paper. I wouldn't surprise me actually if this was hot pressed. It doesn't say, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is hot pressed, because I don't think cold pressed would be this smooth, but it works really, really well. So no, I'm going to put that there. She knows. So here is a giraffe. Hi. I apologise for my oh, bless you. Yeah, it's not fun when babies don't sleep. So for those that watch my Tip Tuesdays, sorry, I got really itchy end of my nose. Blue tack. We know how much I love blue tack. So I'm just going to take some of the excess graphite off. Now, again, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm not fussed about pencils showing through. It's all part of my style. Well, Wendy's had them so long. You have used them. You used them on the Phoenix paper cut, didn't you? Just rolling it to get rid of some of that graphite. So I've pretty much picked out my normal favourite colours, which are generally the same every time I do one of these rainbow watercolours. But I've got my magic tool with me today, so there is no chance of me spilling an entire pot of masking fluid. Because that was, bless you, that was not fun. Okay, so the masking fluid I have is called Molotow, and it comes in pen form. I don't know why I have so much shadow. Come on, lights, work with me. Oh. Right, coffee's done. Okay, so I'm going to give it a good shake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask around the outside of each of the sections. So when I come to do the watercolour, I'm probably going to rainbow it up through the colours, but have the colours mixed. So obviously I don't want it going into the areas in between. So what I'll do is I may need to get Coffee Man to get the hairdryer. Well, that should be shaken off. If you haven't seen these are bloody brilliant. So Molotow, and you just got to get them going when you first get them through. But it's just like a fibre tip pen. So when you come to draw it on, so I'm just going to draw around the outside. Oh, I might need to get that going again. It's been a while. There we go. And it just gives you a really nice, even layer. Because one of the difficulties is with using standard masking fluid is if you put it on too thick, you get little air bubbles underneath, and when those air bubbles pop, you then expose the paper underneath, so you unfortunately risk it. I can... Is that enough? It totally is genius. If you haven't got one, get one. For this sort of stuff, honestly, it's a game changer. I'm going to leave these bits under his neck exposed, because what I want to do is that drip down that you get, fingers crossed. But it goes on so smoothly. It's a really vivid blue, so you can see exactly where you've been. And it's just like, where have you been all my life? So I need to make sure I go around the outside because they get smaller here. So you can see how small you can go just with this pen. It's brilliant. Okay, let's go in and around. Some itty bitty ones in here, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect, so we'll just see how we go. I just want to get the main areas done. I think we're going to do in here as well, and he's got a nice dark bit here which wouldn't necessarily, should be dark brown, but when in Rome. Oh my god, I need that pen. I didn't know masking fluid, nor did I. You naughty people, I've reviewed this pen in one of my videos. Naughty, naughty. I haven't watched paint dry. No, you haven't actually, have you? Does it have a full name and brand? I'm on Amazon. Right, okay, so it's Molotow Graph X masking fluid pump marker. But if you put in Molotow, I think it only comes in pen form. But yeah, Molotow masking fluid, and it should come up. What I'll do is when the live's finished and I list all the colours, I will also relink. The link is in one of my previous videos, but I'll relink it on the bottom of this live feed as well for you. Well, in fact, I might be able to do it right now. Let me just get these marked, and I'll do it right now for anyone that comes along later. I have a feeling I've made that one too small. I have. Okay, we need to come out to there. And I think that's pretty much it for his pattern. Okay, let me see, because I will still have it. Masking pen. Amazon, there it is. Okay, that's about the same price that I paid for it. It was £6-ish, somewhere along those lines. Okay, so I am going to link it. How much is it showing up for? It's about £6 something or other here in the UK. Right, his eye is really dark, so I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that yet. See, look how easy that erases out. It's just, I love it. And also, if you have a latex allergy, you don't really have to go anywhere near it. Right, so the plan is we're going to do all the inside first. So the colours I've got, again, I will... Sorry, it's right next to the microphone. We have got rose pink, heather purple, sage, kingfisher amber, sunshine, sea green, hot pink, aquamarine. So we cover most of the range. So it's just I need to decide whether red, yellow, pink. So if I go purple, pink, yellow, I'm not going to need the greens. Oh, I don't know what colour order to do. I think we're going to do red, pink, yellow, blue, because the red and the pink will give us more of the orange and the yellow and the blue will give us the green, and then we can have the blue at the end. So I'm thinking purple down here, and then we'll come up to the blue on the face. €31, sheesh. So you won't be able to get it from the link. I tell you what, actually, is it Amazon.com you use, or do you use a different extension? Because if you find any product, top tip, if you find any product on a .com website, just change the .com to .co.uk and it will find you the UK version, and vice versa. Right, let's go with the purple. Right, I need my... Let's go with 10. I need a 6. I think that's probably all I'm going to need for now. Water. Brill. Okay, purple. I have a feeling purple's one of the naughty ones, but we'll soon find out. And I'm probably going to let's just get colour down. I'm going to do it in exactly the same method I did my previous ones in, and we'll just go with the flow. What does it mean when you got an itchy tip of the nose? It's money going out, money coming in, supposedly. So I'm just placing colour wherever, really. But I'm just trying to keep it within the colour family. Oh, wrong end. Would help if I coloured inside the lines, wouldn't it? Right, let's get them going. My brush is dirty. That's disgraceful. Do those colours... Gosh, you had to ask me that, didn't you? I don't actually know. You do, all you need is primaries. If you just want basic rainbows, go for... Wake up, Bonnita. Go for the primary set. Come on. Don't spoil it before you've even started. I'm just activating it, but I'm not being neat and tidy. I'm just going for it. So whatever stays dry, stays dry. Because I want him to be patchy, being the nature of a giraffe. So all I'm going to do is just give me a couple of trails down, which will influence where the colour goes, because unless your paper is wet, the paint won't travel. When you work on dry like I do, it stays where you put it. If you want it to travel, you have to tell it where to travel to. Ah, that's nice. I like that idea. Okay. So I'm going to start trailing up to more of the pink now. Let's get, why does that look green? Why's my nib green? Well, oh, it looks quite yellow on the monitor. It looks green on my page. No, that's no good. Bear with me. That's not good enough yellow for me. We're going to go with sunflower, which is my next favourite yellow. Okay. I think some of the reason why these lies are particularly popular is because, one, they come to life very, very quickly, and two, because they're just so bright and colourful. See how yummy that's dried. I'm going to try and zoom you in, but you may be out of focus. My cable's twisted around, so I'm quite limited on function. How's that? Can you see that okay? So I'm just going to blend those two together. Blend that one up there. I haven't done that yet. I've made a right mess up that side as well, haven't I? Look. If you make a mistake, just get a wet brush. Go over the colour, just let it sit or move it about, and then just pull it up with some tissue and it will get rid of that colour. Like so. That's not enough contrast on there for me, so I'm going to add, if it doesn't soak it out my pen too much. There we go. Okay, so we need again to tell it where to travel. Let's have another one there. It's not a stupid question. Even if you use marker with a marker almost to give you an ombre effect, yes, it does stain the tip, but once you've worked that colour out on the paper, your tip comes back to normal colour. Yeah, so you can do ombre effects with them because you can put both the ends together. We have done it before on a Facebook live, and it works very well. Okay, I don't know whether to do the orange or not. I might do a bit up here and a bit here. I'm going to get some more yellow. I might even pop a little bit of pink in there. What it does do though is if you use it direct on water, like you can see here, it does draw some of the colour out, so you have to work the colour through the nib again to draw the ink out. So it never ruins your pens, you've just got to work the colour off or work the water off. Oh, you have just seen me scared witless on live there. That's Coffee Man shouting up at the girls because apparently they're being really, really noisy. And I've just had a heart attack. I'm using the Daler Rowney graduate brushes because they're amazing for holding water. I have got my expensive Da Vinci ones up there, but I don't really like using them with dye-based products. Not that it makes a difference, but I prefer the synthetic hairs for this sort of drawing. I'm liking the colours already. I think they're coming out really, really nice. Okay, so I think we can work the green into this little area, I think. And I actually really like... No, let's go with the Sunshine and the Kingfisher because they actually make a really, really nice green. Got another bit down there which I'll tone green. So I'm going to just do the odd one or two. Then I'll decide out of which of those will be green. If the colour needs strengthening later, that's part of the reason why I brought greens over with me. Because the Kingfisher can be quite a washed out colour. Okay. Honestly, they're so good, and they're just such a quality product, and I've done some amazing work with them. See what I mean about them holding the water? I've done several now without having to go back to the pot. So I'm going to use the colour that I've picked up in these tiny little squares here. Squares? Clearly I don't know my shapes. But you can see what yummy, yummy green it makes. If you wanted to make the colour stronger, you can either use the aqua tints or even the sparkle pens, the ones with the colour in. I'm wondering whether my Aquamarine might be too weak. Not like a marker pen does. All right, let me... So there's no colour bleed through at all. Not like a marker pen, because you're sort of washing the pigment away. I think if you were to do a more concentrated layer, it may eventually... but this is 300 GSM paper, which is a really, really good weight paper. So it's really good for dye-based products and the markers, because they don't tend to bleed through as much. Right, have I got the right one? Yeah, the Aquamarine. Yeah, see, the Aquamarine is quite a subtle blue. So I might pop a bit of Kingfisher in there with it, in case. Oh, they're even marked what end. Look, this end is the thin end because it's got that white banding around it, and this end is the normal end because it doesn't have banding, and I still pull off the wrong one. I still have got a bit of green on the end from, not that it matters, from when I went over the yellow. Okay. I might just pop a bit of stronger green in some of these. I'm not going to do it too many because I can get the colour off my brush. I'm just dabbing any excess water because I don't want to flood my paper. So I'm just dabbing any excess water off on a kitchen towel. I just want a bit more control over where the colour goes. So dabbing it on a kitchen towel is a really good way. So at this point, when it's still damp, in fact, no, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use a 10 brush. No, finish the blue first. I don't know if Coffee Man's back down, but I haven't got my hairdryer, so... I need to sort of signal on my window that if I do a specific knock that I need his attention. Okay. I think he might have heard me. So I'm going to get a 10 brush purely because it's going to give me a wider spread. Here he comes with the hairdryer. Thank you very much. What I'll do is I'll move the microphone out the way, or I might even unplug it actually, at the risk of it not working afterwards. Okay, number 10 brush. And then we're just going to fill it with water, but we're not going to overfill it. Just going to tap it on the side, and we're just going to get one of the pens, and we're going to go over the top. You're going to see not a lot happening, but eventually, but that's probably enough. You'll eventually see. What I'll do is I'll let it dry and then I'll bring the paper up. So I'm going to unplug the microphone and touch wood that it works when I plug it back in, just so you don't get ears blown from the hairdryer going on. So bear with me. You can't hear. Can you hear? Please say you can hear. I can see the counter going up and down, so fingers crossed you can hear. I'm just going to get excess water off. I don't know what that is. Shouldn't be there. Oh, is that a bit of... I don't think that's paint. I don't know what that is. That's annoying. Oh, can't find my slice tool. Deal with it later or hide it behind a watercolour splat. Whatever comes first. Brill. Okay. Now, I'll explain very quickly what I did, because you probably saw how close I got to the paper, because I had it on a cold setting. It's not necessarily the heat that will dry, it's just the air really. So you can do it on cold, but it's not vitally important, but it does help if you can do the back as well. It just sort of helps speed up the drying process really. So there is still a bit of dampness there. It's never going to be ultra dry, but hopefully without me having to change the focus, you should be able to see all these. No, I'm going to change the focus. Hang on. There. Oh, hi Erica. Can you see all those splatter marks, all those messy splatter marks? That's where we've gone over with the water and it's drawn the colour out. And that's what I absolutely adore about watercolours and these pens and just this style in general, because you get this like really dry patchy areas, and I just absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm going to get started on removing the masking fluid. Oh, it just comes off so easily, it's ridiculous. So I'm just using my eraser at the moment because it's just quicker and it's less risk of me getting dirt on the paper or smudging any, smudging, it's my new word, smudging any stuff, paint, and just ruining it. So I said I wanted to have a bit of a galaxy feel about it, and I am still quite tempted to do it. What do you guys think? I'll do the galaxy bit near the end, but I am still very tempted. So once I've taken all this off, I'm going to colour test, because my swatches, I can't remember where I've put them. So I can't check my swatches at the moment. Where have I put them actually? That's a really, really good question. I think they're over there, but I can't reach them, so. It would save me a whole world of hurt, to be honest, but I could just get them. I'm not brushing anything off until I've done it all, and then I'll get my soft brush. Should have got my larger eraser really. Using this one is a bit of an expensive eraser. Nice to see you got there safely, Erica. Okay, almost there. Sorry guys, probably a bit mundane watching this. By me, of course. Some rare, really strange reason, I actually seem to have grown them for a change. They seem to have suddenly come out of nowhere, and normally I've chopped them down and had enough by now, because I can't type for toffee with nails. Which is why, if you've ever messaged me lately, I can't seem to talk because my nails get in the way, and yeah, it's been a long time. Oh, do you know what? It's boring now. There was no way I was going to keep that up. Right. It's pretty dry, so we're all right. I'm loving his colours, and you're completely out of focus because I forgot to refocus the camera. Okay, let's refocus. But do you know what? The only reason I did them last night was because it stops me from hacking at my fingers. For the friends of mine, you're aware how much I pick at them. I'm just going to get my colour chart without tripping over my hairdryer. Nope. Is that them? I think that might be them. Yeah. Okay. How many Spectrum Noir products do I have? Let me see. Okay, so they're all my markers. They're my... Right, here we are. Okay, so the colours I picked Tawny, Jasmine, Desert and Fawn, and I have an awful feeling because some of these newer colours I don't have them. Right, Jasmine, so that's Jasmine, which would be actually quite a nice colour. Spice would have been nice as well. Amber's too rich. Marigold, Desert. So that's probably the only thing with that. Can you see this line here? Because it's quite a rich pigment, if you don't work with it quickly, you find that you have you can shift it around, but it's already pretty much sunk into the paper, so it's a little bit riskier. You have to work with it quite quick. I actually really like the Fawn. That's nice. Should we go with the Fawn? I don't think Tawny's on here. I have a feeling Tawny is with the new set, and I haven't made colour charts for the new set. So this is why you need to get organised and get colour charts done. So if you didn't know about the sparkle ones, these are the sparkle ones. There. Can you see that? So these are the sparkle pens. Now, everything in the Spectrum Noir range complements each other. So you can work with the alcohol markers and the watercolour markers and these, and you know that all the colours are going to complement each other. I mean, you can see how much sparkle is in there. Look at that. Right, we're going to go with the Fawn, I think. Still don't know what I'm going to do with his eye. Okay, so we've got... In fact, what was the darker one? Oh, will you pick the right end of the pen, woman? Right, okay. For the mane, I take it it's called a mane on a giraffe. Same thing, isn't it? I'm going to do this dark one. And this is probably the one I'm going to use for the shadows. So I'm going to turn him upside down. And we're going to draw that colour up. Now I've oversaturated my brush because I just want to pull the colour out. And then I don't want to have to bother doing any work, basically. So I'm just going to give him some sort of hair-like edging. And you can reactivate these colours afterwards. They do soak in, so you won't be able to reactivate it fully, but they are reactivated, so bear that in mind if you do any projects. So it's a little bit oversaturated up the end here, so I'm just going to grab some of that water out. Feed some of that colour up, and let's pop a little bit more colour down. Now I'm just going to use the very tip of the brush just to get some bristles out of that hair. That's what I love about these brushes, because they're nice and round. They go to a very pointy tip. So they're just really, really versatile. My beautiful Da Vinci brushes are more for very large washes, very large canvases. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get a bit more of an ombre effect for where it's closer to the neck. So again, we're just going to sweep some colour down, and then again we're going to pull up again, you get that nice sort of ombre. And while my brush hopefully still has a bit of colour on it, it's starting to dry out a bit now. Let me see. A little bit. I might need to wet it. There we go. Okay. Right, so we're going to keep that colour for shadows, and we're going to go for the Fawn for the standard colour. No, yes. Nearly said Jasmine then. Do you know what? They're blooming amazing brushes. Is that what they are? They're my normal graduate Daily Rowney, but they're like £2 a brush. Even the bigger ones aren't expensive. So they're really, really good budget brushes, but they are just, I mean, this is how much I love them. These are all the Daily Rowneys. And then I've got my beautiful, really expensive Da Vinci's. But for this type of work, I generally use my graduates. So you've got, I mean, a Da Vinci brush, for example, standard Da Vinci brush size 4 to 6 will cost you in the region of £7 to £9. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, £14 there. So you've got how many brushes for the same price as 2 Da Vinci's? But the Da Vinci's are one of the best quality, and they're really posh. And they're really fluffy and light and wonderful to use, as I say, for really big washes and things like that. But as I say, for this dye based stuff, I prefer to use these. But they're really, really good. So worth having a go if you haven't got any. Okay, so I'm basically going to fill in all the space now. Let's just... basically colouring in with it, really. Just avoiding those edges because I want to be able to push up towards those with my brush rather than have too much in the way of colour. So I'm just going to fill the ear, and then we'll deal with ear detail afterwards. I'm just thinking we need a dark one for the tops. Although I might rainbow them actually. Should we rainbow them? Unicorn giraffe. Yeah, I'm going to rainbow them. Okay, his eye, again, I don't know what I'm doing with his eye yet. It's really dark. I might just do it, I don't know, do it purple. I haven't got any dark colours with me, to be honest, so I've sort of shot myself in the foot there. Okay, and I'm just going to sweep over the whole bit here. I may need to get the hairdryer out again, so I may be a case of having to unplug you. Sorry, I got to go. Lovely weekend. Have a nice weekend. Say hi to your mum. Hi DJ, how are you? Okay, oh no, that brush is too big. We need a number 10 for that, 6 for this really. Okay, and we're just going to manipulate out. And if I find that I'm struggling with any areas, as I mentioned to you earlier, it was one of the colours that seeps very quickly into the paper. I'm going to do my desk. So this is how much I trust these pens, because I'm going to do it on my desk. Anything that is waterproof, you can just put it on the surface, pick it up with your brush, and then go straight on. So I normally, if I ever need to use it, just use a bit of acetate. So that way you don't even need to use it straight on the paper. You just put it on something something waterproof, pick it up with your brush, and then you can go straight onto your picture. Sometimes people like to do that if they want to do something really delicate. A giraffe. Don't see many rainbow giraffes, do you? Certainly not in the wild. I want to really saturate it, but I need to be careful of my patches. But we'll come in with the darker shade when we're near. Well, get all this done first. And again, we can manipulate where we want that colour to go. So we don't want a massive gap, or I certainly don't want a massive gap between the areas of where the drips are. We'll make them darker when we bring in the shading colours. Just checking that, in case it's my sister telling me she's home, which she's not yet. Okay. So what I might do is, although he's looking all right actually, I was going to say where the checkers, because I can't think of a better word, I might go in with a bit of shade, a bit of shadow, make it a bit darker, but I certainly want to get a bit of shadow underneath his chin. Right, I'm going to use my trusty lino. Wrong end again. Okay, so you can see where I've gone on there, hopefully, if I'm not in the way. I hope I could actually see. So you just pick it up off there with your brush, and then you can go straight on and colour in. So I mean, it's ridiculous how versatile they are. Yum, yum, yum. So up here's been sat here a while, so it's probably going to take an awful lot of manipulation. But as I say, we're going to be using the other colour for the shading. Reminds me of the Skittle. Oh yeah. They don't run them adverts anymore, do they? The last one I saw was the man who tried to pick up the telephone and he couldn't because it kept turning into rainbow Skittles. Okay, it's going to be quite tricky in here, so I might grab my number 4. Just because it's easier to get in some of these areas with the number 4. Apart from this massive area here. So it's mainly around the top of his head where they're all quite close together. Yeah, I'm definitely going to rainbow the horns. For God's sake, are they called horns? What are they called? I need a lesson in giraffe anatomy. Take on wildlife when you don't even know what bit's what. Work is building up, so I'd better sign off. Bye, Carol. The one I seen us, a man is milking the giraffe. Oh, I know. Yes, yes, yes. I know that one. I've got quite a lot of water down there, so I'm just going to collect some of that. There we go. There's quite a lot of shading around his mouth, so I'll deal with all that in a minute. I just want to get the rest of this washed out. He's looking rather splendiferous. What do you think, guys? Swap back now. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to rainbow the top part in a minute, and then it's practically the base done then, apart from his eye. I'm not too worried about closing any gaps because I just want to get the feel. Okay, I'm going to manipulate one there, I think. Just get some colour. That one up a bit. There we go. Right, I'm going to let that sit and dry and do its thing, and we are going to... Quite tempted to copy this colour up here, but we're in such a small space. I don't know how well it's going to translate, so we'll see. How dark, right, that dark actually comes right down here. Might even have to go in with the dark purple. Okay, so we then went, let's go hot pink, not too much of the hot pink, and then we're going to go rose pink because I like the colour. Done it again. Up here, a little bit up there. I'm going to have to go yellow, otherwise we'll end up with muddy. When you put pink and blue together, it just, you'd imagine it make a really nice purple, but if you get the wrong combo, they can be quite muddy. Eye candy, totally. So I'm going to put yellow there, and then the last is we're going to, should we put blue at the top or should we just leave? I'm going to leave it like that actually. Oh, being naughty. Never leave your brushes stood in water. It's bad. Naughty. Right, clean before I come up into the yellow, otherwise it's just going to muddy all that yellow out. I don't know what I've got left on the brush, but we'll use it. Okay, so Fawn. Let's get that on there, and then we can use a tiny touch of, I'm going to start using again off of the this is so versatile, this bit of kitchen lino. It's used for my indenting, it's used for my watercolours. It's amazing. Right, okay, so we need some shadow in this ear. And I don't want to draw this on because, I mean, as in I don't want to draw it on straight from the pen. Because we're going to be almost working in a negative way. So to get, like, he's got really fine hair in there. Normally I wouldn't be so precise, but I want to be today. So I've just, I don't know whether you're going to see that. Can you see how flat? So it looks like that one side and it looks like that on the other. And we're going to use the very tip to just pull in to give the illusion of hair. Might not work, might not, I don't know, might not, don't know what I'm talking about now. And that comes out further there, and then we're going to let that dry. The thing with watercolors, whether they're markers or not, is patience, which I don't have a lot of, surprisingly, seeing as the drawings that I do, that hair's in completely the wrong place. Brush that out. Disgraceful, Bonnita, disgraceful. Do you know what, actually? I'm going to do the shadow. I'm quite tempted to do it in purple. And why the heck not? Right, concentrate now. It's because I'm doing this to the side and the reference isn't to the side, which is doing me no favours whatsoever. There we go. Okay, so let's start the hair here. And then he's got like a, where that comes round. Just want to draw that in really. Now there is a fine tip to the end of the pens, so later on if I wanted to, I could use the fine tip that I keep accidentally taking the end off, and then I could add detail in there, but I am not too fussed. Depending on what you want to do, you only really need to get one pack to begin with. I mean, to be honest, the only reason I got them was because they were on a special offer on TV and I could pay over however long to get them. And yeah, it was totally worth it. Fell in love with them. But yeah, to begin with, you only really need your primaries, because a lot of my work that I've done in these have only really been done using the pinks, the purples. Like, you can literally get one pink, one purple, one blue and one yellow, because you're going to get your orange out of that, you're going to get your green out of that. I mean, obviously you want to get a red, but if you get, I'm sure it's primaries, was it floral? Primary. If you get the primary set, you get a really good range, so it's a really good one to get you started. Oh, I'm going to leave that here as it is for the minute because it's too dry and I'm really not sure what to do with this eye. Oh, she's home, good. Okay. I sent the picture to Wendy. Wendy chose the reference and I sent her 3 to choose one. So I'm just going to have a look and show you so you can see what I mean about the eye. Might actually just have to stop being lazy and get up, but you can see how black that eye is. There's no detail to it whatsoever, so I'm not entirely sure what I want to do about it. In fact, none of them really have any detail apart from, you can't even see eyelashes. What have I got in the way of dark brown? What's my darkest brown? And the browns are at the back. I don't think I really have a really Boulder, possibly. But let me get Boulder. Boulder, Boulder, Boulder. I haven't got bark actually. Oh, Boulder. Okay, I've brought the black over with me in case, but I've got bark which isn't in my set because I haven't got round to actually doing them yet. Hey John! Black Galaxy Eye. I did think about that. Boulder's not much darker, is it? Bark is. Okay. I'm going to go with bark. We'll work with it. We'll carry on. We'll see what it turns out like. And if I think, yeah, it definitely... Because we're going to be sort of galaxy-fying the rest anyway. In fact, saying that, I need my... I need my acrylic ink ready to do that. I think that's the Giraffe. Oh, is it? It's a really, really nice one, isn't it? Okay, so Boulder may actually be a good option. Still not dry enough for in there. And the details. So let me put the reference in front of me. Yeah, let's get some Boulder on my bit of lino. And we're just going to just start working in a bit of detail. We've got a really dark nose here, so in fact I may just draw that in as it is pretty drastically dark. Then we can work. You see what I mean about the joy of having the mix? Because I can now go in with the fine end and really start to get some details. You just have to be careful because if you water activate these again, then you're going to lose some of those lines. So you just got to bear that in mind. It's very wrinkly, so I'm not going to do too much. Because I almost don't want him over detailed. This is where the realist in me starts to want to take over. And you have to remind yourself, nope, we're not here to do that. Okay. Just patch that out a bit so it's not just such a strong line. And we just need to patch this bit out. I don't know why I'm making up random words. Weaken the line. It just softens that line a bit through there. And then we just need to strengthen this bit. What you want is a nice blend out, so don't let the lines be too strong, so just blend them up and out. Just blend them up as far as you can push them, basically. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. His nose wrinkles are really weird at that angle. They don't make sense on the reference. So I'm just going to soften them out a bit more. I'm going to add a bit of purple in the shadowing now. nice. I do want to do a realism one. Another 50,000 things I want to do. It's just too many things to do, isn't there? There's too many nice things to want to draw. Right, I like that purple. That purple works well for the shadowing too. Okay, so we want... I think this needs to... I might do this purple because I don't think it's dark enough. I'm not even sure the green's dark enough, but then no, we're going subtle, Bonnita. Just stop it. You're losing the point. Okay, that needs just blending out a bit more, blending out to this. And then we just need a few lines above the eye. Soften those out. He's looking really freaky without an eye, isn't he? Okay, I'm going to draw in because it looks like I have got the shape. There we go. Right, so I need to bring that down. Okay, if we're going to do Galaxy, do you think we should be doing it purples and blues? I just feel he needs shape to his eye, that's all. Let's try it. I can always, she says, try and repair it afterwards. Okay, let's go in with the one I just threw on the floor. And let's just get it coloured in, and then I'm going to have to just decide. Freaky, totally and utterly freaky. It needs to be there's absolutely zero detail. I can't even see where eyelashes are. It should be on everyone's to-do list. Well, it's going to darken in here while I'm debating and thinking. Tell you what, I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to Galaxify. I don't know. Okay. Don't think I've ruined it yet, because I haven't. Trust me. You can barely see that one. All it does is this adds a bit of an interest to it, a bit of a dimension to it, because as much as I do love watercolours, I like to have dimension in them, and I think they can sometimes feel a bit flat because you tend not to have as much contrast sometimes in them, and I think this just helps lift it. I think that's going to be too, I think it's going to have to be... No, that's fine. This is the amber. So instead of using the yellow, I need to contrast, so I'm using the amber. Okay, so we need to revert to our green. I think the sage is probably, yeah, sage is going to be the darker, so that's fine. Might actually help make these a bit more prominent. Where the water is, where the paper is very, very slightly damp up here, it's actually softened that green out. Yeah. But I mean, it just, yeah, it just adds that bit of extra something to it. So we want our blue. Darken these ones because that's where the edge of the there we go. Okay, so what we are missing is some blue, some yellow. No, that's the hot. No, is it? What did I do with the other yellow? Randomly lost it. Poof, it's gone. No idea. Blue, yellow, and I'll make the green up after. So blue, clean, yellow, and then mix the two. Wet the brush. The wetter your brush, the larger the splat marks. The drier your brush, the tinier they are. Just burst some of those. Okay. Black. Word of advice, don't ever use black straight on your paper. Big no-no. Because it's so rich in dye, it will just instantly seep in and you will have trouble getting it to bleed out. All I'm really going to do is try and just shade it a bit, really. I may need to wait for it to dry a bit more. It just looks lost in there, doesn't it? Let's try and give him a highlight. You can put in highlights afterwards. You just, again, they call it a thirsty brush, so it's either dry brush or a clean wet brush. And you just, I don't know, let's say the highlight is here. I'm going to go here, and then you just hold it on. And hopefully, can you see that highlight emerging? Now I'm quite tempted to pop another one. Oh, I don't know. Here? Soon find out. Yeah, that looks like it's got a bit more life in there. And I don't know what I'm going to do about drawing any eye. lashes. I nearly said eyebrows there. Can you imagine a giraffe with eyebrows? Very strange. Okay, I think this bit needs darkening here, and I think I want to do that. Attempt the ear now. It's still important to have contrast. If you don't, it just doesn't give you that depth. That you need. That's better. We've lost the shape, so I'm just going to use my brush to draw. Where am I looking? Over there. I've got my reference hung up in front of me and I keep looking over there because that's where I'm used to looking. Right, I need to wait for that to dry. So I want to go in a bit darker. I think it's lost a bit of punch. I'm going to touch off. You're going to bleed out, aren't you? Yeah, I need to wait for that to dry. So while we do that, we're going to shaky the... Bye Joe, see you Wednesday. Well, I'll see you in the group, but I'll see you live on the Wednesday. So this is a Uni Posca. And they're paint pens, and they're a bit better than the Sakura jelly rolls. I find the flows are much more consistent. I'll tell you what I do need to do, actually. I can't believe I almost forgot. We need to get some wet patches down, don't we? Try and avoid that eye where possible. Again, you're going to see nothing, but eventually, as it dries, it will. So I'm just going to use the Posca to just get some more dramatic whites in there, because when I come to use the water or acrylic, oh, I quite like the way it's doing that. It's sort of catching where the water puddles are and it's spraying out. Where the acrylic paint will go, because that's what I'll be using, acrylic ink. Again, it's De La Rowney. Yeah, De La Rowney acrylic ink. It's just very good for these projects because it's nice and watery. I do find sometimes though I still have to water it down a bit. So this will give me some nice defined white spots, whereas the acrylic ink will give me some more washed out ones. These tend to be a bit more opaque, whereas the ink is quite translucent. Can't really see it on the yellow at the moment. But again, it just, I don't know how well you can see that, but it just adds another dimension. My screen. Okay, so I'm going to turn it slightly. That's a bit dry now, so I can come in with my pen and add some hairs in. So if you don't like how strong they are, just use the side of your finger and then you can just blot them out a bit. am going to do it on its galaxy. We determine whether they are actually called horns. Do you know what? I need my glitter pens. Why haven't I got my glitter pens? So the acrylic ink you can just apply in the... I don't know whether I do. Do you know what? I might just do it in sections. I don't really want to risk, because the white acrylic is going to be going over it anyway. I'll decide afterwards. Okay. So you can see the paper's still damp here from where I've coloured. Just going to use this end just to give me some... I might use the other one actually, a bit of depth. There we go. That's a bit better. It's still damp, so I'm just gonna... No, it's not. Just want to really just be gentle and just soften that edge slightly. There we go. The bowling ball. Skittles are okay. The bowling ball I have issues with. Look, I've got my own bowling ball. Fairy one. Okay, right, acrylic ink. You're better off putting it on something, and it comes with a dropper tool. So I'll just drop some on. You really don't need a lot. I'll probably end up wasting that, to be honest. Naughty me. I'm going to use a small one to begin with, and if I find it's not enough, and then I should move up to the 6. I'm using the 4 at the moment. You do still need to wet it, otherwise it just it doesn't quite give you enough spread on the paint. Still see that's very wet because it's not even landing on the eye and staying there. So when you want a bigger spread of paint, just make sure your brush is nice and wet, and then you get the much larger daubs, dabs, whatever. So what do we think of that eye? Do we need to get some eyelashes on, do you think? I would probably draw them in with black. Or even the bark. Where's my Wendy? It's got eyelashes on there. I'm quite tempted. I keep looking over there and I keep seeing this blooming great bright LED light, and I keep getting spots in my eyes. Okay, let's just do it. It's not terrible. You can tell they're eyelashes. Oh, and that's my cat outside. Thank you. I thought she was in. I'm just using some of the black that I still have left over. know what? I think we might be done. What do you think? Hello, Sandy. When did you appear? So what do we think? I know there's a big delay between when I speak to you and when you hear it, so I shall wait patiently and hear a reply. The colour looks not washed out, but not quite as vibrant as it is. Maybe I've got the brightness up a bit too far. I have got 2 massive LED lights on, so that's not going to help. There you go. That's a bit nicer. I am actually quite loving him, to be honest. Sorry, phone. Yeah, whatever. And on iPad, and I can't remember my password, so can't comment. My phone's only got a bit of charge now. Why were you called? You knew there was a live on, young lady. You had plenty of time to charge. I was asking about eyelashes, but it's too late now. Too late to the party. There's only one thing left to do then, isn't there, ladies and gents? One thing left to do, and we are going to squeeze that in here. Done. Looking fabuloso. I really, really love him. I'm really pleased with him. He does look sad. And do you know why? Because there's bloody poachers out there being really, really mean. I agree. He does look sad, doesn't he? That's quite poignant, actually. I didn't think about that. Probably because he's sad because I'm telling Wendy. No, he agrees. Look, he's nodding his head. Yes, Wendy should have been watching all the way through. Naughty lady. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. They do, hence this bit here. So you got 1, 2. So on the reference, it's dead behind the other one. What I do find strange is that you can't see his ear. So I don't know where his other ear is. I imagine if he's turned slightly, it's probably sat behind in some weird manner. And I don't even think I'm going to try and put it in. Aussie cones. See, I knew someone would know. Yeah, it is. It's sort of here. I think actually what it probably needs, saying that, let me grab my completely wrong colour probably, is I think the blend out doesn't quite, so it needs to come down more here. There you go. Dealt with. You've gotta love simple solutions. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, that's better. It's a little bit lost up here. He doesn't seem to have a top of the head. So I'm just going, let's just add something up there, because that's probably going to bug me now. I know what's missing from here. I absolutely know what's missing from here because I purposely kept it in the reference picture, because when I trimmed the reference picture out, and that is his little tufts of hair. There we go, that's better, huh? Talking some good English here. I just want it to match in a little bit more with down here. No, it looks like it's got a mohawk, but that's what it was missing. I might take it just out of there, weaken that bit. We're going to weaken that bit slightly, so let's get it to fade out. It's because I'm fiddling now. Let's fade that out a bit. Right, I'm stopping. I'm stopping. He has proper giraffe chops, doesn't he? Okay. I'll go clean that up in a minute. No, I won't. I'll clean it up tomorrow because I really can't be bothered. I had my first school trip today in the sense that I was helping. So kids were my responsibility. What now? There's one more thing I'm going to do. Yes, I know, I'm fiddling. I just want to take out some of the colour there. There we go. Right, I'm stopping. Okay, so there he is, all done. And we have used a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 colours. 16 colours. And I will list them all. Probably can't even get them in my hands. I think this one's on autofocus. So 16 colours altogether. Show you under there. So yes, this was a very impromptu let's do a live today because I wanted to celebrate National Giraffe Day, and quite frankly, no offense Wendy, it'd be nice to get some colour on my Instagram. I didn't say that really. Love you. So yeah, I hope you have a really, really lovely evening and rest of the weekend. I hope you get to chill. And don't forget that I am live every Wednesday. I try and do a tip Tuesday every week. If you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and a thumbs up. YouTube love the algorithms of a thumbs up. So if you've watched this and haven't given me a thumbs up, I would really, really appreciate it if you could just give me that thumbs up. And if you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button and make sure to click on all notifications, because previous to this, people weren't getting notified when I was going live and they were getting a bit upset that they were missing it. So you need to make sure that you hit all notifications. But yeah, have a fabulous weekend and I shall see you in the next video. So bye.